Hello! It's day 2 of Mermay! Today, Vertigo and I started our prompt lists. My word was ice. To see what she got, check out her channel. There's a link in the description. I pretty much immediately had an idea of what I wanted to draw, but right at the last second, I changed it. The original idea was going to be the forbidden love of fire and ice. Fire wants to be close to ice, but ice is already melting just being near her. I ended up changing the idea. First of all, because it's really cliche, and just fire and ice is overused. And 2, because I came up with something that I just kind of fell in love with. It's an allusion to global warming and pollution. An Arctic mermaid is leaning against the polar bear. Both of them are resting, exhausted, and literally dying from the heat. The mermaid's ice tail and hair are melting onto the rock and into the ocean that is far from human life, yet the human's mark has been left, with a bottle, a can, and bottle rings in sight. It was definitely a new kind of concept for me compared to the kind of art I usually do. The purpose of most of the things that I draw is not to convey such an obvious message. Usually I draw super curvy girls because the anatomy is fun to mess around with, or I'll draw things simply to make them look pretty and to experiment with colors. But I don't know what happened today. I like it though, I like it. I did have some trouble starting out. I wanted to paint this, but I was just being impatient and wondering the entire time how I was going to make it look right. Partway through, I even started to wish that I had done this in watercolor instead. So, that's exactly what I did. I got my biggest sheet of paper and I watercolored my heart out. I'm a little bummed, however, because my main reason for trying to paint was that the other day, I accidentally stumbled across this wonderful creation. If you can't read what it is, it's Dollar Rowney Simply Acrylic Mother of Pearl Structure Gel. It's a lot to say. It gives this sort of glossy, shimmery, pearlescent look. Being that Mermay was fast approaching, I knew I just had to pick some up to try out. After I scrapped the painting, I even considered using it on my watercolor. I had to hold myself back though because I didn't know how the gel would affect my piece, and I didn't want to risk ruining it. Another issue I had was that rocky bit on the left side. I probably should have looked up some references, but what the f***? I don't know what that was, but I hope it was the dog. Another issue I had was that rocky bit on the left side. I probably should have looked up some references, but I didn't even think of it. I wanted it to appear tall and so that the mermaid's tail was leaning against it, but I'm looking at it now and it looks sort of like it's flat. At first that disappointed me, but the longer I looked at it, the more I accepted it and almost even came to like it. I do wish I had done more with the background. It looks pretty plain, but I was emotionally exhausted and I'd had to wake up super early too. I've only been getting a few hours sleep for the past few nights, but that's because my sleep schedule was messed up, so I was awake until 5 or 6 a.m. anyways, and then I kept having to wake up to go places and do things. But referring slightly back to yesterday's topic, I consider myself very lucky to be the type of person who bounces back quickly. I'm already feeling a bit better. But that could just be because I was excited about going to visit Vertigo today. I'll be staying here for at least a few days, and I just hope that going home doesn't bum me out again. But I'm keeping a positive outlook, so we'll just have to wait and see what happens.